SBIR, SBIR.
Yep.
What is that?
Oh man, you're gonna make me do SBIR work here. So small business innovation research, and it's really a funding component, and it comes from the federal government, right? And so it's not just the Army that has these kinds of things. All the services, the DoD, Department of Energy, lots of different organizations out of the federal government have access to SBIR funding, which is small business innovation research funds, and it's really technically it's R&D funds, it's research and development funds. And what it is, it's not the way we think about, the government thinks about it in terms of like, is this foundational research, or is this like applied research, is this more development on the development side, and really the SBIR spans all those things. It doesn't, depending on who you're working with, they'll apply those funds in a different way. When you're working with the Army Applications Lab, or if you're working with folks in Army Futures Command, we really think about, at least where we're heading with what we're about to talk about is more in the applied section, right? Like we want to apply the technology. But if you work with some of the other organizations inside AFC, there's definitely folks that focus on foundational research as well using SBIR funds. So that's SBIR is a way that helps technically small businesses, which I'm not going to get all the parameters completely right, but you can absolutely look it up. It's under 500 employees is technically a small business.
Okay.
I mean, that's a lot of different businesses, right?
Yeah, many fall under that umbrella.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot there, and then. You got to be U.S. based, and I think that's a big part of it. You got to make what you're doing. You got to make it in the United States. That's kind of the biggest part of that. And a lot of the folks that we work with, they are using some of the technologies that's established. They're not necessarily making a special sensor. They're using it to create I'll make it up, a robot, right? They have a robot, but they're not making every single part by themselves and like machining everything, right? They're assembling a lot of that stuff. But where their IP comes in is usually software based, and it has an outcome that is a hardware or robot based situation, right? So I think all those things. I'm talking a lot around the parameters of SBIR, but it really does qualify a lot of folks in terms of what is a small business, and how can I access some of that funding, and how can I really get after solving a problem that the military is interested in this case, the Army.